Okay guys, good morning. I'm going to show you in this video how to render out your tour camera or your aim camera. So yeah, let's get started. First off, make sure you open your file. Then we're going to go to like this little director action button with the settings menu. So that is render settings. Click on that. It'll bring you up to this menu right here called render settings. Now under the common tab, which is right here, we're going to go to the first one, file output. Make sure the file name prefix, I called it ISO underscore teacher. ISO is short for isometric room, underscore, and then your name. Make it simple. You don't have to write your full name. Image format, JPEG, quality 100. Color space, don't worry about that. Frame/animation extension, do name, hashtag ext for extension. Frame padding is 4. So what's frame padding? That's basically, if you look up here, the file name, 1, 2, 3, 4. The padding will be those 4 numbers. So 0, and then whatever frame you're on. Let's go to frame range. Now, you guys will be starting at 1, but I'll be starting at a different number because I already did some rendering yesterday. So for me, I go to my images, and then I made this folder called render sequence images, and I already rendered out a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna click on a frame, hold down my space bar, go down, and it looks good. So that is frame 394. 394. So I'm gonna start at 395. And this is something to be aware of. So you'll get a batch of images rendered out today, and then tomorrow, wherever your render stopped, you'll be continuing at. So just be aware of that so you're not rendering out the same images. Let's go down. Oh, and also have frame by 1. So this will render out every single frame. Renderable cameras, yeah. Make sure that it is now your tour camera or your aim camera. So hopefully you named it so you can easily find it. Image size, 720, or you can do 1080, but 1080 will take probably twice as long to render out. So I'd recommend definitely do 720. Again, if you want that higher resolution, like by all means go for it. It'll just take longer. Resolution 72, and I think that's it for that menu. Let me check my notes. Yep. And I don't think you guys need to do anything over here. If you want to copy my settings, you can, but I think we're pretty good for now. Now, make sure in this menu, this drop-down menu over here, go to rendering. So you get this render menu. Click on that, go to image sequence, and click on this little box. Make sure that your current camera is set to the one that you want to render out, which is your tour or aim camera. And this one's important right here, alternate output file location. So by default, it'll place you in the images folder. So let me go to the images folder real fast to show you. I changed the location. But by default, you will be here. So that it's nice and organized, I actually made a new folder. So I right-click, new folder, and I made render sequence images. So click on your new folder if you decide to make one. Say select, and that will be the new location for where all of your rendered images will go. You will have to check this and make sure that it's selected next time you render out. And that's basically it. We're going to start the rendering sequence. And I want to show you one more fun thing. This is my computer CPU. Right now I'm not using a lot of CPU, but you'll see the difference when we start the rendering process. Render sequence and begin. For me, it took about 1 to 2 minutes to render out each image. It might take a little bit longer for you guys, so just be patient. And ideally, you don't have a lot of apps open so that your computer can just focus on rendering. Let's see how much it's using. Oh my gosh, it jumped right to 93%. That is wild. Yesterday it was at like 98, but that's because I had all of my apps turned off and I was not recording a video. So keep in mind that your computer is going to be doing some heavy work. So yeah, that is basically it. You can check that it's actually working by going to, man, when it is rendering, it does not want to go to any other menu. I just move that down. You can tell it's rendering by going to your render sequence images folder or whatever folder you made. You can click on the space bar and you can see that this image is now being made. Again, it took about a couple minutes to get some stuff done. For this one, it took 10 minutes. Wow. So yeah, get to rendering and, oh, if you click on the escape key while it's rendering, it might turn off your rendering, so be aware of that. And yeah, I guess that's all I got. Have fun rendering.